Yes, we are doing this question here with the use of graphs illustrate whether each of the following is an upward or downward shift in the supply and curve. Explain what happens to the equilibrium point. Assume this is the market for chocolate. So we had our first scenario here. Let me just put my graph. Our graph, remember, demand is downward sloping, inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Ceteris paribus. Supply upward sloping curve. Equilibrium point here, point A. All right. So the first scenario says the price of cocoa falls. Colleagues, what did we say will happen to the graph when the price of cocoa falls? Yes, as Mr. Langson continue, or was he kicked out? When the price of cocoa falls. Okay, okay, you can take it up. Okay, we're saying we are the first scenario here. So I was saying, yeah, when you said the price of cocoa falls for this question here, we were dealing with the chocolate market, the price of cocoa, which, hmm, yes, because the firms can buy more raw materials. The more raw materials they buy, which is cocoa, the more chocolate they produce. All right, so we have a downward shift of our supply curve, shifts to the right here from S to S1. Okay, so you say we have a downward shift of our supply curve, then our equilibrium point moves down the demand, mhm, okay, down the demand graph here to point B. And what we see happening here is that we have a reduction in price of chocolate because there's now an abundance of chocolate, so the producer can reduce the price so that more units are moving. Yes, from Q, yes. uh And then price will say from P to P1. Okay. Yes. Okay, colleagues, are we all okay with that? Move to the next scenario. Yes. Okay, that's, yeah. So remember, hmm, Law of demand. No, 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 no. Here, there's no need to speak. They, because in some questions they'll tell you how, they'll ask you how the equilibrium point moves. Yes, yes. So here, um, you just say it's moved from point A to point B. Basically, from the old intersection to the new intersection. So please don't put law of demand in there, okay? Or then you said the demand curve. Not the demand curve. Law of demand. Law of demand. Yes. Okay. Okay. Next scenario. Doctors warn against increased consumption of chocolate. They tell you, okay, if you eat chocolate, you might get BP, high sugar levels. Which graph is shifting? Yes. Anybody? Doctors have told you. Think of it like this: there's only one chocolate in Zambia being sold, and doctors say that that chocolate, if you eat it, you get cancer. What are you going to do as a consumer? Who buys that chocolate? Yes. First, first the demand curve is going to shift downwards to the left. Yes, towards the left. So like this. So you label D1 here. Okay, meaning demand reduces, meaning people start buying less or even stop buying this chocolate. Right? So as demand reduces, okay, our equilibrium point, it will also move down the supply curve from point A here to point B. Okay, so this movement, what it will translate in is a reduction in price. As we can see, price goes down from P to P1, and also a reduction in quantity from Q to Q1. Okay, people stop buying the chocolate. Okay, and eventually the company will see, oh, people have stopped buying our chocolate. Let's try to reduce the price. Maybe we'll entice some people. And if people still don't want to buy, you'll find even that chocolate goes out of production. Are we okay with this? Any questions? So here the key for this kind of questions, just remember the shifters of supply. Uh-huh. I can get you, sir. Try to log in and log out. Okay, just try to do that. I hear it's raining in your area, so I think maybe it's network on your side. So if it's still failing, do not worry. This is being recorded. So, okay. Are you able to get me clearly? Oh, yeah, because for these questions, it's very important to also see the board. But okay, since you can see it now, that's good. Just hold on. Let's look at question 3 and question 4. It will be it's the same principles that are happening here. Okay, it's the same principles here. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's a good suggestion. Although it's also good to ask after an explanation, because if we reach at the end, you'll be too confused to even find out what to ask. So I'll regulate. I'll regulate. Okay. Scenario 3. Workers demand higher wages. Yeah, a chocolate factory. Workers demand higher wages and threatening a strike. What is going to happen, colleagues? They even put their tools down and say, no, until you pay us. And you, yes, yes. And supply shifts where, mm-hmm, yes, upwards to the left. Yes, yes. Because as workers demand higher wages, okay, you have to lay some of them off to make those happy. And as you lay people off, it means there's idle capital and less people in the factories. So production will suffer and price is going to go up. Because remember, as a company, you still want to stay profitable. Okay, so if you lay off workers and production is going down and you still want to be enjoying the profits you're having earlier on, you need to increase the price, okay, so that you can cover the cost of these workers who have remained, whose wages have gone up. Yes. Remember, one of the shifters of the supply curve, cost of inputs, raw materials, and wages. Are we okay with this, colleagues? Any questions? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. We go to our fourth and final scenario. Valentine's Day is around the corner. And in actuality, Valentine's Day is around the corner. Yes. So our demand curve shifts upwards, right? I think someone also sent this answer to me. I don't know who sent this answer. I forgot to say it was correct. Are they in the class, the one who sent this answer? It was sent in the group. Or it was as a group. Okay. Yes. So I believe. Any questions? Okay. So that's the secret for these kind of questions. Remember the shifters of supply and the shifters of demand. Okay. I remember in the group we posted them. If someone still has them, please repost for those who never got them so that if you're faced with these questions, you know what to do. Okay, so we move to question two. This is for determination of equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. All right. You'll be given a demand function. Remember, when you just hear the word function, it's just a mathematical relationship between two variables. Okay, so our demand function, the relationship is between, excuse me, QD, quantity demanded, and P, price. Okay, this minus symbol is showing the inverse relationship. Okay, as price goes up, this demand function is going to be reducing. Okay, then you have got the supply function, which shows the relationship between quantity supplied and price. Okay, and remember we have a positive relationship. So here in this function, the more you increase the price, the more the quantity supplied increases. All right. So these are our equations, and they've told us P is the price in kwacha, QD is demand, and QS is supply. Question one: calculate the market equilibrium and the market equilibrium price and the quantity. So, colleagues, at equilibrium, what happens? Yes. Mhm. So, at equilibrium, QD equals QS. Okay. With these type of questions, this is your starting point. Okay. You equate the demand function and the supply function. So, the demand function is 120 minus 2p, and the supply function is 2p. And this is an important point. At equilibrium, the price the buyers pay is equal to the amount the seller receives. Okay. PB is the price the buyers pay. PS is the amount the sellers receive. Okay, the seller's price basically. So what you pay for is exactly what the supplier gets. So this is going to come in handy in the second part of these equations. Okay. But here at equilibrium, this doesn't matter here because they are both equal. And one more thing, PB is attached to the demand function and PS is attached to the supply function. Okay. So here we can put this PB here and PS here. But since they are equal, so no need to illustrate that. Are we all okay on that point, colleagues? Any questions on what I've just said there? The price the buyers pay equals the price the suppliers receive. Okay, so here's just a matter of algebra, basic mathematics. Colleagues, let's calculate the value of P. What are we supposed to do to get the value of P? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's just go step by step for the other colleagues. So this negative 2P crosses over and becomes positive E. 2P plus 2P, 4P. Let me just connect my phone to the charger. It's saying battery low. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So here we have 120. All right. So to get the value of P, we divide both sides by 4, right? 4 divided by 120. What value did you say, Mr. Lyson? 30. 30. Okay. So this is how much. This is the equilibrium price. This is basically what we pay, and this is how much also the seller receives. Okay. Here we've ignored government. Okay. It's just between the buyer and the seller. Any questions on this? Just excuse me for 2 minutes. I'm just handle something. Okay, so now we can find the quantity supplied. Okay, you can substitute P equals 30 into any of these two functions, okay? In the QD function or in the QS function. Because remember, quantity demanded equals quantity supplied. So since the QS function is the easiest, so we just replace it there. QS equals 2P. Okay, so 2 substitute it with 30, you get 60 units. Okay, so quantity demanded and the quantity supplied is 60 units. Any questions? Okay, so if you had to put it on the supply and demand curve, this is how it's going to look here. Okay. Third quarter is the equilibrium price, and 60 units is the equilibrium quantity. Yes. We can go to part two. If a sales tax of 10 kwacha is imposed, calculate the new price and the new quantity. Okay, so here we've got tax involved. All right, so this is the first thing that you're going to do. The first thing that you need to do once you hear there's a tax or a subsidy, first thing that you need to do is you need to adjust the supply function. Okay, we adjust the supply function. So PS, the money the suppliers receive, is equal to the money the buyers pay. Now, since there's a tax included, so we're going to say minus T, which is the tax. So what the suppliers receive is what the buyers pay minus the tax. Okay. When there was equilibrium, this T wasn't there. It was just PS equals PB. Right. Now a tax has been included here. Okay. So what the supplier is receiving is what the buyers pay, then they deduct tax, which goes to government. So the tax in this case is 10 kwacha. So PB is equals to PB minus 10. So what is the sellers are receiving is what the buyers pay minus a 10 kwacha tax. Colleagues, are we okay with this first part here? You have seen the value added. Yeah, you've seen the value added taxes on the goods that you pay for whenever you're going to shop, right? Is that value added tax which is added to the price that you pay? Then no, it's that value added tax goes to government. So as I said earlier on, Q, you have to adjust the supply function because the supply function is attached to PS. So we adjust our supply function. QS equals 2 PS. You start it like this. Mhm. Yes. Because no, put it like this, because in reality, whenever you buy any good from any shop, there's that value added tax, okay, which is included in your price. All right. So part of that money you pay will go to the seller, the producer who made that good. Then the other part is going to government as tax. Yes. Yes, but it's true when government puts in a tax, yes, its cost of production goes up. Cost of production does go up. Okay, so yeah, where were we? Where were we? Okay, so we substitute PS with this equation here, PB minus 10, okay? So it's going to be 2 PB minus 10. So we just expand. So we're going to say 2 times PB, 2 PB minus 2 times 10, that is 20. Okay, so this is our new supply function. Okay, 2 PB minus 20. Then we go back to the regular programming where we create QD and QS. So QD, remember, it's 120 minus 2 PB. Remember, as I said, PB, always attach it to the demand function, equals the new supply function, 2 PB minus 20. Let's see if I've got it. The demand function QDS 120 minus 2 PBS. So first things first, let's find PB. Once you find PB, you can find PS. And then you can find the this quantity supplied after this tax has been imposed. So it's a matter of algebra. So this negative 2 PB here goes this side and becomes positive. And this negative 20 here goes this side and becomes positive. So you have 120 plus 20 equals 2 PB plus 2 PB. 120 plus 20, 140. 2 PB plus 2 PB, that is 4 PB. Okay, we divide both sides by 4. Divide by 4. All right, so 140 divided by 4, 35. So the price the buyers are paying is 35 kwacha. Okay, at equilibrium, when there was no tax, we were paying 30 kwacha. Okay, now there is tax. So now we're paying 35 kwacha. Any questions? Mm-hmm. Yes, go ahead. Someone has raised their hand. Yes. Okay. There's no question. So now we can find PS, what the suppliers are receiving. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's your starting point. Then the next thing is adjust supply function. Okay. So you think of this as stage one. Start with this. Then step two, adjust your supply function. Then step three, equate the demand and supply functions. Okay, so now I'm finding how much the sellers are receiving. All right. Remember what the sellers are receiving, what the consumers pay minus the tax. So the buyers are paying 35 kwacha, 10 kwacha is going to tax for the government. So the suppliers are now receiving 25 kwacha. So before the tax, the suppliers always the buyer will pay 30 kwacha, the seller receives 30 kwacha. Now there's a tax, so now the seller instead of receiving 30 kwacha, they are receiving 5 kwacha. Okay, and to get the new quantity, okay, either you can, so let's say we can go to us, we can replace this 25 kwacha in our original supply function here, 2PS. Okay, substitute PS with 25. Okay, or if you want to use the PB, okay, you can put it in this demand function or the adjusted supply function. Okay, so colleagues, which function should we put in to get our quantity? Should we put in the original supply function, the adjusted supply function, or the demand function? You get the same answer. Okay, some of you put it in this function, PB, replace PB with 35, in this adjusted supply function. Some of you put it in this demand function, still here where there's a PB, replace it with 35. And then us will put it in the PS, this function here. Okay, the original supply function, which was QS equals 2PS. And we found our PS, it is 50 kwacha. So 2 times 50, oh, not 50 kwacha, 25 kwacha. So the new quantity supplied 50 units. Are we getting 50 when we substitute into this one here? 50. Okay. And also here 50. Mm-hmm. 35 times 2 is 70. 70 minus 20, 50. Mm, no, it's just where there's PB, replace with 35. Okay. Where there's PS, replace with 25. Okay. And you, yes, then you get the same answer. Okay. Okay. So our supply curve shifts. Okay. Because of the tax shifts to the right, and quantity supplied reduces to 60 there. So here it's like this, the buyer and the seller, they've split the tax halfway. All right. The seller takes 5 kwacha of the tax, and also the supplier takes also a 5 kwacha of the tax. Okay, 5 kwacha plus 5 kwacha, 10 kwacha. So it's like here they've split the tax between the two. Now, in this question, this graph wasn't necessary, but there's a question which is coming where we're going to see how you can calculate the total tax revenue raised by government. Okay, and then here we can calculate the total revenue raised by government. It's just the area of this box here. Okay, this red box I've drawn here, the area of it. That's how you calculate how much tax revenue government has made from this tax. But anyway, aside from that, any questions, colleagues, before we move to part three, where with subsidies now? Oh, it's almost 2012 push. Okay, colleagues, homework. Calculate number three, where a subsidy has been implemented. I have to shift to the third years. This is your starting point here. Same process. After this, adjust the supply function and then do your calculations. Then when we meet, we will compare answers.